just fucking human experience and being able to walk outside at like 3 o'clock in the morning, just seeing the stillness of the outside world, like the natural world, just there's no one here. Where everybody's here, but they're all inside. They're not here. They're not out here. They're inside of their own places. It's a strange thing, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not even going off of just what everybody else says. It just makes sense to me that this is pretty much based off of balance. This realm is based off of that. It gets unbalanced sometimes, but that's kind of how that's what it's gonna do. You know, the scales are gonna do that. Like I said, that's why I say that we're totally a representation of the earth, because, you know, we move the way that it does. Pretty much, you know, we move in the sense of, oh shit, fucking rabbit. I was like, what the fuck was that? I'm definitely kind of off the loud right now, so I'm a little bit shaky, but, you know, yeah, it's just, and this is Chicago, Illinois too, so you already know there's a certain thing that goes with that. Just a strange dynamic, because it's like, you know, the universe has times, well, Earth has times of being alive and not being one, you know, not being alive. And we also have the same thing. You know, I definitely feel that, I think it's all a balance. Like when you take like LSD or like shrooms or some shit, one thing that you want to do is make sure that you have to pretty much control, like, the mind does lie, though. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, the mind works as if as the universe does, or the planet. Like, there is beauty in the planet, but there's also ugly and grunginess. There's love, and there's also death. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's pain, and there's also like healing. You know, and the mind is the same way. So it's like it works on a sense where, yeah, you can create something very great if you're creative, or figure out how to do something on a human level. You can kind of use your spiritual powers to kind of like do something on a human level, but, you know, at the same time, it lies. So if you're off a psychedelic drug and you're like feeling it a lot, and it makes you feel a certain way, and then you really start believing those thoughts, you start to believe that, yeah, I'm seeing stuff, and the mind's gonna play. It's gonna do exactly what you tell it to do. Since I'm saying, like, the universe is the same way. Mother Nature's not good or evil, though. So it's not totally your friend, but it's not your enemy. This is what I've come up with. And it makes total sense to me. Like, Mother Nature is not your friend. That's the thing you gotta understand. Mother Nature ain't your friend. It's not a buddy of yours. You know what I mean? It's not gonna do what you want it to do all the time, but it's also not gonna always try to hurt you neither. It works a weird chemical balance of what you want and what you don't want. I mean, not even that. It just, or whatever's going on at the time. And if you happen to be there, good. If you don't, then you don't. Like, if it's going to be sunny on Tuesday in Chicago, if you happen to live in Chicago, you can feel that. But if you live in New York, it's going to be cold that day, you know? It doesn't work like, oh, I'm going to do this intentionally bad. See, that's a human way of looking at every fucking thing. And I'm not saying that they're like 100% cold-heartedly is no such thing as good and bad, but not the way that we think about it. And maybe there isn't a way, maybe there isn't a good and bad. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not saying that killing a child is a good thing, or that's not bad to do, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying the universe doesn't look at it the way that we do. We give it the moral compass of like morality and code and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, we give it that. That's some shit that we give it. And the universe does it, but it doesn't do it the way that we think it does. It does it according to how it does it. It doesn't do it like, it's just a strange thing. We gave all this stuff like a standard and a pretty much a setting where we're kind of giving it an ideology or a name. We're giving it a function. You know, we're giving it a function. We're constructing it to be good and bad. But I hope you guys can hear me out. The universe doesn't look at it like that. It just does what it does because it's designed to do a certain thing. It doesn't look at it like that. Like, I'm watching True Detective, and Matthew McConaughey had a really good, interesting line. He said that the world needs bad people. And if you think about it on a 100% totality, it does. It needs bad people to run the way that it runs in this realm. I can't explain it. It needs that because the universe is based off of those laws of those dualities. So it needs people to do shit like that, even if a person that's good, of course, wouldn't understand why somebody would do that. It's crazy. Luckily, I don't have to be that guy, but I understand why they have to exist. Not because I say so. I'm at 7-Eleven, fucking 4 o'clock in the morning. This is the shit that I do. Philosophize, play video games, and fucking study. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's what it is. For me, at least. Pokemon Detective, that shit is gonna fucking suck. I'm already knowing that shit finna be weak as hell. That shit's about to be weak as fuck. Maybe there's something else I need here. Yo, hello. Oh, hey, how you doing? I was about to say, if it wasn't a good person, they might be in here just taking all kind of shit. Nice. Can I get a pack of Newport shorts, please? Yeah, I come here all the time. I know these people. This is a good lady right here. Just doing things. I got a YouTube channel. Sorry about that. My guy's not here today, right? He's not here today?
He'll be back Monday.
Okay. Is he all right? Everything good? Oh, okay. So I know he was complaining about some type of like
his
arm pain or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So I was wondering like maybe that took him out of commission.
No. He says his arm is gonna have to get used to it.
Yeah. That fucking dude. Something else.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. You have a good one. All right. But yeah, I guess this video is pretty much about duality. And just how crazy that works, man. You know, even us to, you know, even for me to call it duality is pretty much just like that's a construct that I'm making up. Well, that we've made up in society to explain that. And I get it. We need those things to be able to communicate what things are without just going, you see, you know. We need to be able to, like, because we be talking like fucking cavemen. We need to be able to, like, communicate between each other and be able to identify something. And we came up with certain ways of identifying everything. Universally, for a certain people, it would be a certain word. Now, in a different language, probably the same word just said, obviously different. It's a different language. You know, but, those are pretty much just, we're looking at things from a human point of view, which is good, but the real essence of us is like I said, this is all what I believe and what I've studied and just what makes sense to me. This is not somebody else's philosophy that I just wish to kind of run my mouth about and just say. This should sound like I need to have a channel. This is the stuff that I think about daily, and this is pretty much, you know, the conclusion I kind of come up with on an annual basis about certain things, and you know, but you know, it's just, I don't know. It's a strange. This is just a strange dynamic to kind of learn all of this shit. To really kind of like reprogram yourself, like rewind the tape and like run everything back. You know, but see, I love this shit. This is what I want to show y'all too. Fucking miles of murals. 2012. This is Chicago, Illinois. This is up north Chicago. And I walk past this every time I kind of come out, gotta go out here and go get something from the store. Honestly, even though I'm spiritual, preferably cigarettes. Yes, you could be spiritual and smoke cigarettes. They don't have a correlation necessarily, but they can definitely still work in hand. Look at this shit. I've been living over here for years and I've been fascinated. I did a video in front of this thing for like when I was rapping. I did a rap video in front of this fucking thing. I mean, look at that shit. It's the gods on the wall. Let's look at those lips. You know who that is. That's you. Shit. Look at the lips. Look at the, I don't even know. Can you guys, let me just flip it so you guys, I know that you guys are seeing what the fuck you're supposed to be seeing. I don't think I can do it. Fuck. Look at that shit. That's us. Not to throw salt on anybody else. Fuck going on? See, this Chicago, Illinois. Even up north, this is a good neighborhood. So somewhat a good part of town is up north, but still, they be busting over here. It's just still not like Chicago's dangerous all around. Chicago's a gangster city. And I don't mean that just for the GDs. I mean that period. Chicago's a gangster city. You go back to the 20s, the 30s. Chicago is just what it is. No matter where you are, it can go down. So you always gotta be ready out here. Any time of the day. This is my hometown. I grew up here. But back to the things that really matter to me, because like I said, that's a human shit. But like I said, that's what I'm trying to say though. You have to still live that human life though. People don't understand it. Like the Gnostics were like, fuck your humanity. Bobby, y'all niggas know Bobby. He's like, fuck your humanity. And I don't have a problem with that, but of course I gotta do it a little different. It's not fuck your humanity. It's keeping it in check. That's the thing you gotta understand. You gotta keep it in check. Because you still need your human side to do things. You can be as spiritual as you want. You can also be fucking crazy. You can also be a lunatic. You can be too into the astro worlds. Too into the fucking primordial waters of the universe. As above, so below. So the waters would also represent the galaxy. You can be too into that. Driving a car, you might hit a child. That's what I'm saying. You can't just be just in the clouds with the spirituality. I don't believe so. Now, if you have it tamed, and you understand it, it can still kind of, your human side can pretty much obey the spiritual side if you have it in a place of eureka, where in a sense, you're positive and you know how to control your energies, but you still have to be a human though. You can't just say fuck your humanity 100%, not while you're living in the body. You're 26 years old, 27, 28, you're still living in the body. You can't disenfranchise yourself from it 100% because you still have to live in it. And they also have to have a divine order in which they're both, balanced in divinity and understanding and higher learning and salvation. This is what a lot of you niggas are looking for, right? They still have to work together. You can't just say fuck the body all the way, because then you'll be laying in a fucking bed somewhere dreaming your whole life, or a dream inside of a dream, however you wish to look at it, because this is already a dream technically from what I've studied. Even science is kind of getting into that shit now too. They think this might be a simulation. But this is all about this video is just pretty much about divinity. I just kind of want to make it a lot more natural. I might start doing my videos more natural, where it's like, not where I'm starting off the video like, hi guys, I'm not gonna have to do all of that. I'm just gonna go in as if you guys are just following me daily. You're following me daily, and when I have some like thoughts of like something of a divine manner, I'll pick up the phone or pick up the computer and just record what I'm thinking at the time. That's probably how I'm gonna do it, because the structures never really worked for me. Now this is also shit like on a spiritual and a human level. Everything's not gonna always work for everybody. So like, because you do it a certain way and it works for you, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way that it works. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily mean that everybody that tries to get into it, they're gonna get into it that way, and then it's gonna work for them that way. It doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. Some psychedelics or hallucinogenic drugs, they won't work for certain people, even if they're trying to find that higher level of self. It's not gonna work for them, or it might work too well for them. And then you know what I'm saying? See, it's all a balance. See, when you're off of LSD or when you're off of shrooms, you literally have to still balance your human side. You can't go completely spiritual. You might be in a place of complete eureka and then do something crazy to somebody in the physical body though. Or, you might be in a higher place of complete turmoil and then do something to somebody crazy. Like, so you can't you have to balance. They have to be balanced, especially when you're doing psychedelic drugs. I think not even especially, but no matter what the fuck is going on, they have to have a certain level of balance. They got to. You gotta know how to and then like I said, like I tell people all the time, like, yeah, you get into a physical fight, you're gonna have to fight for real. You can't do it in a sense where it's like, I'm just gonna spiritually morph my way out of it. I think it's just this is a pretty grand experience. It's pretty wild. And then it's like, if it's fuck your spirituality, if it's fuck your humanity, right? Like the ancients thought, like the Gnostics thought, because they were also like that. They also had that that ideology pretty much, or that sequential thought where it's like, you pretty much want to leave behind everything in the material world. And it's like, well, for a Western nigga, who gonna really do that? You could, but why though? You don't have to. If you know who you are and what it's really all about, you can still have some things nice on a physical level, and then of course be a spiritual person that doesn't really need those things, but you still got them. You don't have to be in a sense where you're not living in society. I mean, we know this is a fucking matrix. I mean, whenever you can get up and go get a burger made for you and you can go pay for like 100 of them if you have the money, that's bullshit, and you know that. But at the same sense, that doesn't mean that you have to be a poor righteous teacher. I don't believe that, and I'm not gonna be. I don't even know if I consider myself a fucking teacher. I'm just a person that knows things, and I want other people to know what I know and to tell me what they think about what I know or what I've discovered. Like I always say, I'm just a young nigga, honestly, just trying to figure these things out. So I'm going to study as much as I can. I do Uber and Lyft, and I'm also thinking about maybe doing a YouTube, like not even a YouTube channel, I already have one, but just doing like a segment in my online video career, where I kind of just, and I don't even really have, I gotta get more followers, but when I have, I just put a camera in my car when I'm doing Uber and Lyft, because I have the most philosophical conversations with a fucking variety of people. And I really enjoy it. I really enjoy doing it. And my customers tell me all the time, like, man, you should start up a podcast. You should start up I would listen. I would listen to you if you start up a podcast. So I'm thinking about doing that. And I'm also thinking about just putting a camera and just recording the conversations that I have while I'm doing Uber. I mean, I'm not really sure if I'll have to contact Uber and, because all the legalities in this country is fucking ridiculous. But I'm thinking about doing that as well, But these are just my thoughts on the stuff that I've studied and what I've seen so far. And like I said, I only really go with stuff that makes sense to me. That's pretty much how I'm fucking with this, how I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm rocking, bro. I'm pretty much rocking with shit that makes sense to me. I mean, that's what anybody else should be doing. They should be just kind of going with the information that makes sense to them. But I do know that some people hear some stuff and they feel fucking obligated or they had to oblige somebody by just like standing behind them, even if you don't believe that. But this is just all the evidence that I pretty much gotten on my journey of just trying to figure all this shit out and studying to understand it and meditating and doing more philosophizing and more thinking and more figuring out. So yeah, like, subscribe, and leave comments if you guys want to do that or whatever else. And you guys enjoy your night or your morning or whatever it is. All right.